Joni Cunningham, welcome to the Manufacturing Culture
Thank you.
Podcast. I'm so excited for this. We are recording in person, which I rarely do. And I'm so excited to be here. I love regional shows. I love these smaller shows because this is where the company's exhibitors, they're not sending VPs for the most part. They're sending the people who are actually doing the work
Yes.
in the field with the end users. You've got people who come, I mean, Western Michigan is super industrious to begin with,
Right.
right? But you've got people coming up from Chicago, from Indiana. You draw quite a bit of people here. And we'll get into all of that here in a minute. Just happy to have you here. First of all, I want to know, the audience wants to know, it helps us frame who you are, Joni Cunningham. If your life were a movie, what would the genre be? Who would play you, and what's the opening scene?
My God. Yeah, I was going to say, so I used to be called Blossom all the time. My embryonic when
Yes.
Blossom was on. But I think I have more of a Punky Brewster kind of feel. As far as genre, it would have to be a comedy, but a comedy based in reality, because
Yes.
that's just my life. I'm just kind of somebody that rolls with the punches, and I do my best to try to laugh at all the stupid shit I do, right? And it's not intentionally, it just kind of happens.
Absolutely.
So
I get
I
that.
invite others to laugh with me and do stupid shit with me. So
Yes.
follow me. We'll do stupid shit together.
I love that. And now, having met you in person, I came to hang out with you last night. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we will be having an episode where Joni is a guest co-host on Industrial Storytellers. Phenomenal conversation. I
Yes,
mean,
it was.
we laughed. I almost cried.
All crying.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not doing this, Jim. Not tonight.
It was an emotional roller coaster, but it was
Yeah.
super real. It was super raw. But knowing you, you do have that ability to have fun, do stupid shit, but you get people to do it with you. So I 100% agree that that would be the genre.
Yes.
What's the opening scene of that movie?
Me walking down the street talking to somebody and I run into a pole. That would be the opening scene. That is like, that's my life every day, right? Where I'm talking and being myself, and then bam, life right in my face.
I get that. And I see where you're coming from on that. I could see that opening scene. Awesome. So, Joni, we are on the Manufacturing Culture Podcast. We have to talk about culture in some way, shape,
Yes.
or form. So I like to ask my guests, as a second icebreaker, what does culture mean to you? Not like a definition, but like in the sense of what you believe culture to be. What is that?
I guess culture for me is an environment where you're helping and lifting others, where you're moving together as a team. I'm the first one to say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I need some help. I'm also the first one to say, I'm wrong. I fucked up. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I'm a dumbass.
Yeah.
But if you have all these wonderful people around you, like, you're going to bring something to the table that I'm not going to bring.
Yeah.
We're all working in the same areas for a reason. So let's bring our resources together and bump ideas off of each other, and not be like, I know best. You're never going to know best all the time, right? And closed mouths don't get fed. So
Yep.
if you don't ask others, give me your opinion. Doesn't matter what it is, just give me one, regardless of whether I prefer a blunt opinion. Don't beat around the bush.
Yep.
You're not going to hurt my feelings. Come out with us and let's find a solution together,
I love it.
right? That's culture. When you walk into a place and everybody is, let's do this together,
I love
because
that.
you're not going to move forward alone.
Yeah, a lot to owners. And my opinion is, if as an owner, as a leader within a facility, titled leader, if you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, you need to clear the room and rehire people, because you should never be the smartest person as a leader. You should fill the room with people way smarter than you that can accentuate your skill set in places where you're lacking, because we can't do all of it, right?
Well, I think the problem here, Jim, is a lot of leaders and people in this, they have a hard time delegating. They're perfectionists. which makes them micromanagers,
Yep.
which ruins the relationship of all these people that they've hired for the perfect reason. But then if they second guess those people, then your ship it's a house of cards. It's just going to keep unfolding down on top of itself.
Yep.
So as leaders, we need to trust in the people that we are bringing into our organization to help us be better than we ourselves are.
100%.
That's why we hire these positions, right?
100%.
If I was the shit and I knew everybody, I could do it all by myself, right?
Yep.
Like, nobody's an island, especially if you're not going to succeed.
And we see, I mean, I'm glad you brought this up. We see a lack of delegation in this industry far too often, right? And in a like leadership or development vein, there's a concept of aggressive, passive, and assertive, right?
Sure.
So people who aren't able to delegate are typically either aggressive or passive leaders. They're not assertive leaders. Assertive leaders typically will say things like, I trust you, bring me ideas, or I trust you, go try it. If it doesn't work, we'll fix it.
Sure.
Right. Whereas those passive leaders are typically ones, I don't know if I can trust you. I'm just going to do it myself. Right. And
Yeah.
I think that a lot of that exists, that I just want it done right. I want it done my way. So I'm just going to be the one to do it. Right.
Do you know what I think that is?
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think it's necessarily that they don't trust that person.
Okay. Let's hear it.
It's that they don't know how to communicate appropriately about what it is their expectations are and to lead people into that area versus saying, I don't trust you. That's not true. If they didn't trust him, we would have fucking hired him.
Love that.
It's a lack of communication. And as we grow, we learn what we see. And this is part of what we talked about last night.
Yeah.
We're repeating the things that we see. There weren't lessons. It was in our face. So it's inherent. And those are the traits that are really hard to change. And most people don't recognize that about themselves. It's everybody else other than me. But if you took a long look at yourself and be like communicating with your spouse, my marriage ended up divorce because I was a shitty communicator. But divorce was the most important thing that ever happened to me to make me who I am today, to allow me to truly be myself and to be able to communicate without fear.
Yes.
Right? It's not fear of judgment, but it is, I'm going to say what I actually mean.
Yes.
Not that I'm trying to hurt your feelings or whatever, but I've come to a place where I'm secure enough with my thoughts and my feelings to express them in a way that other people can understand it. Whether you like it or not,
right,
you're going to know exactly what the fuck I meant, period.
I think that on the other side, there has to be trust and understanding of what your intent is as well, right? If I trust you that you have good intentions, even if you say something raw to me that may hurt my feelings or may hurt a little bit, if I know that your intentions are good, right? I trust you, then that prevents me from then getting defensive and taking what you say, which is the truth, the wrong way.
The thing is that I'm not going to just meet you and jump into the, what the fuck, bro? You screwed that up, right? It's that constant relationship building to when it comes time for me to be direct and say, you fucked up here. Let's think about it. And you're going to go, you know what? You're right. Let's do this together instead of, oh my God, how do you say that to me? Right? I'm just saying.
I love the voice.
Relationship building, trust building. And if you're not willing to do that with the people that you work with, not just that, your vendors, everybody around you, if you're not able to do that, then you're not going to be able to communicate. You're not going to be able to allow your other people to communicate, because then they're going to be afraid that they're wrong. And your whole system is collapsing around you because of your lack of communication.
I love it. All right. So let's talk about Joni Cunningham a little bit more. I learned last night, and shame on me for not having paid attention on your LinkedIn profile. You're from Alaska.
Yes.
So fun fact, I have slept in every U.S. state except Alaska. That's the only state I have yet to be in. I need to make it happen soon.
Do you like to be outside?
What's that?
You like to be outside? Okay. I was gonna say I'll hook you up with a future connection. So
Okay.
give you the family experience versus the outsider experience.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
dig into
We'll talk about it later.
what was growing up in Alaska like? Because everybody's got a perception of Alaska, right? It's dark all the time. The polar bears running around that just want to eat. That's what people fabricate in their heads. What is growing up in Alaska actually like?
So my answer would be totally different as a child. I'm like, this place fucking sucks. Get me the hell out of here. I mean, we had no fashion. I mean, everything's so far behind.
Sure.
We might as well be in India. We moved out of state my freshman year, and I'm like, Carhartts. And they're like, Guess jeans. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yes.
I was gonna say, I'll guess. As a child, I hated it. Looking back now, I am so thankful for the magical childhood that I really got to have. Is that I grew up outside. I didn't sleep in, right? We had a wood porch and we would go out and we would cut the trees down. We would haul them back. And this is before splitters, who would hand cut all those fucking trees. I had a friend that didn't have power. She didn't have electric. I didn't think anything of it.
Right.
We were all fucking poor. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Right. I never had store-bought meat until I was 14. We always fished and hunted. My grandfather had a meat packing house. So our entire family, we would hunt together. We would fish together. He had a plot on the Copper River. So we would do Copper River salmon. It was a magical experience under mountains, right? And people are always asking me, well, did you run into animals? I'm like, well, yeah. But I grew up there. I wasn't afraid.
Right.
Right? I wasn't like, I saw a bear and I was like, oh, I'm going to run. And he's like, snap time. It's like, girl, challenge accepted. You run. I'll be there in a minute.
Right. Bob.
Right. So the thing is that because I grew up there, it would be shocking to you, but it wasn't shocking to me.
Right.
Right? I would just be not an idiot. Yeah. You don't turn around and run or try to touch the babies, right? Like, come here, cuddle. Now, if it was a big cat, that's how I die. I'd be like, kitty, come here.
Some mountain lion you're trying to cuddle. Yeah, got it. All right. All right. I love that. So you moved from Alaska, I think you said, to
Ohio. So my dad worked for NCR, National Cash Register, for many, many years.
Okay.
And NCR's headquarters was in Dayton. I'm not sure if it still is there. So, and then we moved back my senior year.
To Alaska?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was really hard because the reality is that they were so far behind academically. I was teaching the senior classes I was in because I had learned that shit my sophomore year. I was helping the teacher to the diversified health occupation program because I was going to be a veterinarian.
Okay.
Right? I worked in my grandfather's office. He was a general practice in a small town called Palmer before they built the hospital. And it was really northern exposure. People would show up with pelts. And that's what I wanted to do. My passion is animals and elderly. Wow. Right? And I worked in nursing homes of my entire younger life. It just became a heartbreaking experience for me. One, that I wasn't getting paid and I'm changing diapers and, it's backbreaking, devastating work. I would cry all the time and I would spend my weekends taking elderly people to go get Depends or the grocery store. Can I take you somewhere? I could never escape it.
Yeah.
So once I started after that, then I worked in hematology and oncology. And I realized that I care too much to be able to separate. And it was emotionally devastating for me. And I was like, I can't see people or animals die. I can't, right? So I needed to find something else. And I think that even though I wasn't looking for this, I've landed exactly where I should be.
I would agree. And I mean, a lot of people have non-conventional routes on how they find manufacturing, right? Because unless you know from a young age you're going to be a machinist or you're going to be an engineer.
Well, idea those things were a thing. Yeah.
And I mean, I landed in manufacturing from construction.
That's what you're saying. Construction, is that because you grew up in a small town and there wasn't a lot of opportunity? That was the way you could make the most money?
I'd love to say yes. I ended up in construction because I dropped out of college. I started at university, did not work, dropped out, loaded in retail and bartending and restaurant work.
I know you told me about your MTV or whatever. I
Right
gotta
around
send some videos.
2000.
You got videos of that? Like,
I've got to find them. They're somewhere.
you gotta bring out the good
I gotta
stuff,
find
Tim.
them. I'll find them.
Bring out the woo girls.
But I ended up in construction because I didn't. I needed a trade. I needed something that was sustainable, that wasn't restaurants, that wasn't retail. To me, not that
Yeah,
there's anything wrong with.
absolutely not.
I mean, I know people who are career servers. I know people who are career retail. Good for them. For me, I needed. There's so much pride that comes from building something. I mean, I could
Great.
still go back to northern Colorado, northwestern Colorado, where I was living, and see the houses that I built. Right? There's a sense of pride that comes with that.
Great.
When I landed in distribution after leaving construction, I walked into my first machine shop, and that's when I fell in love with manufacturing. It was the people that I grown up with in shop class. It was my people. I felt immediately comfortable and at home with the people. We were talking last night about what sense, we activates first. For me, it was the sights and smells and the sounds, like all combined with this feeling of belonging with the people that I was surrounded, right?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't know how we got it. I'm a little hungover after last night.
What? I only had that 1.5 drinks.
Man, I had way more than that, and I kept going after you left. So
Oh,
yeah, made some poor choices, but that's okay. Yeah. Oh, that's where I was. Non-linear path into manufacturing. So you've worked in healthcare. I think you said you've worked in.
I was in liquor sales for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been all over the place. The liquor sales, it was fun. But, at 30 years old and I'm in bars every night, I didn't want my son because I'm just going to go ahead. Sex sells and everybody's buying. If I'm going to a bar, I'm wearing booty shorts and you know what I mean? I'm
Yep.
trying to sell alcohol. What are you
Yep.
going to do?
Yep.
Bring the ladies out. Okay, you're welcome. My son was young at that time. And I mean, I was so much older already than his friends' moms.
Yeah.
Here I'm 30 and they're in their early 20s.
Right.
But I would show up in my booty shorts and stuff to pick him up from daycare. And just the way that people reacted to me,
The
I thought to
judgment.
myself, go fuck yourself. But if they're reacting to me that way, my son is going to internalize that. So I was
Yep.
like, I cannot be here. Plus, I didn't want to spend my nights forever in bars again. And nothing. And now I'm like, I'm trying to be asleep by 8 o'clock because nothing good's happening when it's dark outside. And shit, I grew up in Alaska with the blazing sunlight coming in at 2 o'clock. So now I'm like, I need a hammock and a really bright sun out like a light.
Right.
When it's really bright outside, I'm like, narcolepsy, right? Like, so,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I totally forgot what we were talking about.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
IT,
Yeah,
liquor
IT, liquor
sales.
sales.
And then
Stumbled into this.
you held, to me, one of the most honorable professions as a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, it was really, really hard. Everything that I felt like it was failing at just was magnified,
Oh,
right? I'm like, now my house is a mess. My son's playing with poop in his room, right? Like, right? Manic all the time. I'm like, is it quiet? It's like, he's not eating anything. And I think all parents can, understand,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I'm like, what's up? What's up? Right? But I was so emotionally, physically exhausted. I was checked out. I was checked out of literally everything and just going through my motions, right? Yes, the kids made it out alive, right? You're welcome, children. Just let you know. I was just, it wasn't fulfilling in any way. And I didn't really realize how much I need to work. It is. I've always worked. I've always supported myself, and to have to stay home and allow somebody else to support me, I don't fucking like it. I'm gonna be my own boss, period. And I don't want to allow myself to be in that situation. And now I'm glad because now my kids, my ex-husband and I, we do completely different things. So they get to see what he really is, and they get to see what I really am versus what we were pretending to be together.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that perspective. I mean, that's very healthy. So you stumbled into Creston.
I did.
How did you find it?
So I had a friend at the gym who was really good friends with the guy that owned an agency. And he's like, well, let me give me around. So that's how he found it because he was friends with our HR lady, Kim, and they had just posted the position.
Wow.
So, and they literally hired me right on the spot.
Did they really?
Yep.
So what is your title with Creston?
Marketing coordinator.
Okay.
But that's
Person who
not all I
does it,
do.
yeah.
Right.
You get shit done.
And not just that, is that, you know, I worked really hard to build very strong relationships with our vendors. So if they're hearing things, I'm vendor relations specialist or whatever the case you want to call it, is that these are my friends.
Yeah.
And they're calling me to tell me things that they've heard or stuff that they don't like or things that, you know, so I'm really the one that's gathering the information and being like, hey,
Yeah.
because, you know, I make them comfortable and let them know that, you know, if they've got something to tell me that needs to be fixed, I'm gonna fucking handle it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, somebody else and push it off. I'm not past the bus. I'll handle it.
Yeah.
Right? And even if I don't know how to handle it, I'll make sure my fingers are in the pot so it gets fucking handled. Right? You know, I will follow up until you die from it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've learned that about you over the last couple of weeks, getting everything set up for this. So you're a marketing coordinator for Crescent, but you do so much more than marketing. As a coordinator, you coordinate this magic thing that we are at right now, AME, Advanced Manufacturing Expo. You do.
Yeah.
You are a connector. So tell me more about this show. I mean, how many people come? Is it annual? Tell us more details about the show.
So I have been participating. Creston has been a show sponsor, I think, 9 years. The very first year that they did it, they used to, I guess, have it up with Deltaplex. I've only been involved for 5 years. But what you see now is nothing what it was when I first started. However, I feel that my perspective and input has been the catalyst for growth for this show because they needed somebody to come in and say, you know what I would like to see versus, you know, Chuck's been here 5 years in a row and he brings the same tools and he markets to the same dudes. I'm like, I want to bring some women in. There's never been a single woman speaker ever before I came in.
Really? Wow.
So my first year was all women. The second year it was mostly women. The third year, so it's women every year. This year, not so much because I had so many other things happening. The most CNC companies we've ever had. Wow. There's so many really cool machines here, and that takes a lot of coordinating.
Yeah.
Right. So I wasn't really worried about the speaker session, but all these people still come.
Yeah.
Right. Because of the impact I made, it's given me an opportunity to really lift women and be like, hey, we're here and we're important. Look what these women have to say.
Yes.
Right. And they're not women. They're in manufacturing. Men are women. We're the same type of people. And that's where we're all fucking here.
Yep.
We found our people in a group.
100%.
Yeah.
So how many attendees do you have every year?
So last year, I think there was right around 4,000. Here, we are on pace for 5,000 to 6,000.
Holy shit.
Yes.
That's massive.
Yes. But every year we get better. Every year we get better at marketing to the appropriate people and not the shotgun blasting. So we're fine-tuning. And, you know, I do have to give props out to my cohort, Joe, with Industrial Control, that really, he oversees it as a whole. I only do the metalworking hall.
Got it.
So the enormity of what he is doing and we're all doing together in Action, Shannon Bush, she helps Action put this together. It's hard. It's really hard. And especially this year, as our customers, they're suffering. People are going out of business. They're laying people off that have been there 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Right? And the fact that these people are still making the very good decision to come to this show.
Yeah.
Because what's great about regional shows is that people here, they want to know who they're working with.
Hell yeah,
They
do.
want to talk to the guy that is the expert on the tool that's going to help them solve that problem. It's not just Preston as a distributor. We're going to bring you the expert, and we're going to be the conduit.
Joni, you've had an amazingly diverse experience getting to where you are, but it really feels like you've found your home, your industry home.
Agree.
Industry home. I don't know why I put
I know. I'm a mind reader. I was executive support for years, so
There
I got
you
to mention.
you meant what I knew.
Yeah.
Just said that a really weird way,
Yeah.
and I'll keep that in because I love it when I get feedback from people on how weird I sound when I
Yeah.
say things.
Well, dude,
All
that's
right.
fine.
Keep it weird. One of the things that I love about you is you have been a connector. We've been connected on LinkedIn for
Sure.
a long time. And I love that you found your home here. And I had a question, I lost it, and so I'm
That's
trying
right.
to talk my way back into it. We'll go a different direction
Sure.
though. What kind of have you ever questioned that you were doing the right thing? No? Okay. Talk to us about
The thing is that, and I'm like, oh, did I hurt? Pretty decisive about the things. And I work off of how things feel around me, how this, I mean, it might sound crazy, but I work off of other people's energy, work off how the energy feels in this room.
Yep.
And that's my litmus about whether I did this shit right or not.
Got it.
I will spend most of the day this afternoon, if I can, or tomorrow, talking to people that are coming. Tell me what you like. Tell me why you came.
Yeah.
Right? Like getting feedback and even new exhibitors. Why did you choose this year?
Yeah.
What was the catalyst? What can we do better?
Got it.
I'm always working to try to improve. And it's not just about the show for me and about Preston. It's about the experience that every single one of our exhibitors is having. I'm going to hold your hand and be with you and walk through you with you the entire time versus here's a link to this, here's a link to this, here's a link. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it easy as possible for you. And if I don't know, I'll say, I don't know. And then I'll send you the link.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Have you ever felt like you failed? What was that like for you?
Well, I'm not going to speak for instance about, but I want to say it's not necessarily related to me being a woman, but I think part of it is.
Okay.
Maybe like I failed, not that I felt like I failed, but others made me feel like I failed or I didn't do a good enough job. And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
Is that I literally pour my everything, every ounce of my heart, my soul, and everything that I believe in into this show, and to be made to feel that I failed in some reason or another, or I didn't do what you wanted me to do. I hate the fact that I feel like that or I bring that on, right? From other people. I don't like it, but there's no way for me to, I guess, mitigate that for others.
Yeah.
And I think it gets back to the not knowing how to communicate appropriate, because I don't think maybe necessarily they made me feel like a failure.
Right.
But I did. And then I questioned, oh my God, like, should I be doing this? Like, what is it I did wrong? I'm like, fuck that. I did nothing wrong. Bro, let's do this.
Come at me.
Right? I'm like the bulldog in the corner. So
I love it. So
I try not to be too hard on myself, but I feel how others may feel, and then when they can't communicate appropriately about what their expectations or whatever, I don't like it. So
I get that.
Life,
yes. You have the joy, the experience, the privilege of getting to see a lot of really cool, innovative products and hear from people who use them about what cool, innovative products are helping them change. What are some technologies that are here that maybe some people don't know about that they should?
So if you're in fabrication and you are not using Dynabraid's Dynafile, you are missing the fucking boat. Not just on the time that your guys are standing there trying to, I mean, they've got this pipe So if you're finishing a pipe,
Yep.
they've got a tool that will wrap around that pipe instead of trying to do it by hand. It saves so much time.
Yeah.
Yes, you're going to spend money up front on the tool, right? But is it incredible? I walk into shops and I'm like, oh my God, you could be using this. You could be using this. Right. That's not just I'm trying to plug my friend.
Yeah.
I have seen what this tool does. And I'm like, if you would just stop and listen, I don't give a shit whether you buy it or not. Just fucking try it. Just listen to me.
Yeah.
I may be a woman and don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I've seen this tool work and I am trying to help you on, cycle time.
Yep.
I'm trying to help you how long your guy's going to stand there. You could put it on an arm and automate that shit so you don't even have to pay anybody.
Okay.
Right? So there are a lot of cool tools like that in display.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, a lot more in automation. There's a
Okay.
lot of cutting tools with, new coatings and things like that. It depends on your application.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
There are people that my friend Pete, he opened his own business. It's called Light Speed Solutions. He is an expert in Swiss.
Really?
Right? So, I mean, it depends on what your niche is.
Yeah.
But there's somebody here to help you find the right solution, not a solution, the right solution to help you make money. That's why we are here. But if you are afraid to pull the trigger or you have some corporate, we will only work with MSC or whatever because, we're not a national, whatever, then you're thinking wrong. It's like, and a lot of times too, is like in purchasing, they're caught up on the money. I'm like, well, if you're going to save $30,000 down the line versus this $10,000 you're going to spend up front to save that money, you're thinking about the progression of your business
Yep.
wrong. I think that people should open their minds and actually listen, because if they were to come and actually talk to these people, right, talk to them. It's not about being sold.
Right.
It's about, I am trying to fucking help you.
I love it.
If you don't want to help, keep walking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What? And I loved your answer last night. What does the future of manufacturing look like to you?
It's absolutely children. And that's why this platform has been so important. Like I said, 5 years ago, there were no children. You've seen the kids.
Oh my God.
You've seen the kids.
There are more kids at this trade show than I've ever seen at a trade
But
show.
how exciting
Yeah.
is that? And then I like to go through and I talk to them and watch them. And there are kids that I see every year that come in. They're so excited to be here because these kids are never going to see these things anywhere else. Not even fucking shop class.
Yeah.
They're not going to see those CNC companies. They're not going to see the old Bridgeports. They're not going to see any of that stuff anywhere unless their dad works in one of these shops.
Right.
But they're not going to see it like this.
Yep.
They're not going to get to have hands-on, utilize it. Now is the time to spark the imagination in the future of robot builders,
Yep.
the future of outside of the box thinkers.
Yes.
But if we don't give them access to the open box, they're never going to come up with it all on their own.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. So, and what I've noticed with all the kids, I'm going to bring, he'll be 12 next year, but I'm going to bring
He's
my
gonna
son.
love it.
He'll love this. He
Yeah.
will run around this place like a crazy person, and he'll have a blast. And I love that answer from you on so many levels, because I think the future is truly the children. I think that when I look at the youth today, they're very inclusive, right? They are allowing ideas from women, minorities, from people who don't necessarily look like them.
Correct.
They're a lot better at that than our generation was, and generations younger than us. So I love that answer, because I think that we're going to see a lot more of that, which just brings more innovation to this space, right? The more
Agreed.
we open, it's like bringing women speakers to AME, the more we bring different voices, different opinions, different lived
Yeah.
experiences, we're going to have more innovation come out of that.
Agreed. And the thing is, I say you're bringing kids at a younger age, their wheels are already turning. And by the time they are those engineers, imagine the ideas they would have thought of by that time.
Yep.
Right. And they're all born with a phone in their hand. So it's not only do they have that engineering piece, they have the technology
Yeah.
piece. And that, like, for me, being old farts, right? And I'm like, oh, can I get some help with the remote? I was like, what's going on with the internet? I'll just go take a nap. You know what I mean? I get frustrated because I'm like, how many times do I gotta do this? Or I
Yes.
can't see. I'm like, what does that say?
Yes.
Just give up. I'm like, whatever. But these kids being born and they're using it all the time, smart homes and stuff like that. So they're using it in everyday applications.
Yeah.
So it becomes intuitive for them.
Absolutely.
So by the time they get to that engineering place, right, they've got multiple pieces of the puzzle
Yes.
versus just the one.
Yep. All right, Joni, what haven't I asked you that you want to share with the audience?
Be your fucking self. That is my best advice. 5 years ago, I was so afraid to be who I really am.
Yeah.
Be unapologetic, because if you are yourself, your people will find you.
Yeah.
And by being myself, my people have found me. Right?
Fuck yeah. That was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.